All right, welcome back to the Monica Brant Show. I'm Monica Brant, and joining here tonight, co-hosting with me is 𝗬𝗽cie 𝘂𝘂𝗯𝗲, IFBB superstar, yay, and Joanne Lee, another IFBB superstar, and very dear friend, and someone who's been saving waistlines for 25 plus years. It's so great. So the first segment, we've been talking to Joanne about, how she got into bodybuilding, about how long it took to become a pro, which because of the fact that there was only one person turning pro per year, kind of crazy back in the day in England, and then how she got to Australia and eventually into the good old USA and into LA and Gold's Gym, and what not to do when you arrive to LA.
Hey, it worked out for her, but yeah, probably not.
Probably don't do that.
Probably don't do that. So it's so fun to just kind of reminisce and talk about all the good things and your bodybuilding career and all the things that you've done that led you up till now. So now currently, I know you're living in Idaho, so moved out of LA, but I know you still travel back to LA on and off, right? You and your husband?
I do. And it's, like I was saying before, living in LA for like 25 years, my friends there and my family, they really are like my chosen family. So, and I think keeping in touch is super, super important. So I go back every 2 to 3 months. I'll probably go back. I was just there. I'll probably go back in February or March. Just a quick weekend. I go back and I mainly see my friends. I always go in the gym, but maybe see my girlfriend.
Right. And Gold's Gym, do you feel is a lot different or just a little different from back when we were heavily involved in the late 90s, early 90s? And
it's very different, but it's still a very special gym. I mean, so if you didn't know anything about back then, you walked into it. Now it's still a very, very special gym. It just doesn't have, Olympia time, Mike. There'd be a good 12, 15 people getting ready for the Olympia.
Yeah.
And now there's probably, I don't know, there's a couple, I don't really know. So it's different, but I swear that place has got a heartbeat, I love going in it. I know it's changed. I know people knock it. It's different.
Yeah.
Things change. People move. People had to go to Gold, Monica, for the photo shoots.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say.
There, you don't have to be there now.
Yeah, that for a very long time was the heartbeat of the bodybuilding industry. And I say bodybuilding covering fitness and eventually figure and so forth. So for many years, that was the place to go. All the physique photographers, the top photographers of the whole world for bodybuilding industry were right there. And you had to be in there to be seen and to network and to make your presence in your career kind of, take off, other than
I wish I could have been a part of that.
It was a very long time.
You would have
been nostalgia for something I was a part of.
I think that even though when we were in that time, like in that era, even at the time, we knew it was special. I mean, it wasn't really a special. Time. You knew it was special. It was a very nice time. But you don't have to be there anymore. And LA is a very expensive place to live. So you can't turn up like I did with a bag on my back and make it, on the West Side anymore.
Every generation has its own like special feels, that can't be recreated. Right?
Yeah, that's okay. But I'm sure if you're somebody new going into that gym, it's awesome, right?
Totally. There's definitely.
Yeah. It's
so what do you think, Joanne? Maybe just talk on how did your career through bodybuilding and all that you've done, how did that lead you into what you're doing now? And then let's talk about what you're doing now and what your offers are for clients.
So what I think it's to look at it. So when I was competing, I attracted competitors as clients, right? And I'd be in my 30s and my clients were in the 20s and 30s. I was in my 40s and my clients were like in their 40s. I'm in my 50s and it's funny how they kind clients kind of go. You pull from from a different pool and kind of travel with you. So when I was competing, obviously people want me to train them for shows and then I got way more into the nutrition. So people started seeking me out for that, and I was doing competition diet, which, okay. And then I started doing seminars on nutrition, and my whole goal was to I really like to teach what I know, right? I love people to understand it, not just, writing diet out and then come back 3 months later. I'm like, why are you here? I wrote you a really good diet, because they didn't understand the diet. So I knew it was me that was failing them. So then when people started to come to me for coaching, they knew I was going to coach them. I'm not just, writing out. So then again, I attracted certain people that really wanted to know, really wanted to understand this. So then I guess I got a little niche there, maybe. People that read, a certain type of person always sought me out, which was very nice. So then 4 years ago, we moved to Idaho. My husband's Californian. He was done with California. And even that was very spontaneous. We came out, looked at a house, put an offer on. I'm like, we won't get it. And we got it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess we're moving.
You're like the queen of spontaneity.
When I think, I like to, spontaneity or reckless, one of those, I don't know, but it's called spontaneity, right? But we've got this amazing house. I was able to build a commercial gym. So I got this amazing, and so I'm thinking, I'll start training people again. But I had to start from scratch. So coaching nutrition, trying to start from scratch. So I started building all my programs onto an app. And that took me, so I'm like 50 years old and learning another technology and another platform. It's just like, gosh. So learning all and then I get everything. So now I'm working off my app, and then COVID hits. And all of a sudden, everybody wants to work with like this. Whereas when I started doing it, people were like, oh, you're going to work how on Zoom? I haven't got Zoom. Like, how didn't do? So when it kind of hit, I was like, who knew? I was already kind of set up.
Right.
So now my nutrition is group coaching. So I do, right now I've got 4 different programs, and it's without a word of a lie, it's probably the most productive work I've ever done in my life. With regards to this, I have a peak week diet. I have a 21-day signature program where I teach people about weight loss. I mean, by the end of 21 days, they know how to lose weight. They know why they struggled. Then I do a workout program, and then I do my Mastering Midlife program. So and that's kind of my clientele now. Probably people approaching midlife, dealing with it, or the aftermath of it. Because that's when people really start to see their body changing, and they feel like they've lost control. And people think it's a downward slope. Once you go past whatever that age is. So I really love coaching. All of my courses, but I'm Mastering Midlife program it's a lot of information. I talk about the 6 hormones, the main hormones that change with age. I have muscle, skin, all this good stuff. So that's what I'm doing now, and that's now probably 80% of my business. Now I'm probably 20% in the gym. But that all started, Monica, with the book. So,
the book. I love it.
Backtracking the book.
Calories and cardio don't cut it.
And calories and cardio don't cut it. So when you do, in other words, it's a terrible title. I should have called it Mastering Midlife. But anyway,
I like that title.
Because this just means you can do another one specifically on midlife.
I already have it. Except this one took me 4 years to write. I wrote this book, Mom. So I had 2 filing cabinets full of notes, right? Because before I confused, I'm writing notes and everything I read and stuff. So I've got 2 filing cabinets full of notes. And I think I've got to turn this into something. Oh, I'm going to write a book. I think a book. It took me 4 years in the parking lot of Goldstein Gym, Venice, writing it in between clients with my laptop on there. 4 years in the parking lot. So then
that's an awesome story, though. That should be like in the first page of the book.
I think it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So this book, there's no diet in it, and that there's no meal plans in it, because the whole thing of it is, if you read the book, you'll understand how to lose weight.
So
the next one will have meal plans, and my courses obviously have meal plans. So a lot of people saw the book and reached me through that.
That's good, because people want, I want a meal plan, but then they want it customized. It's like, you have to understand what food is doing for you.
Let me ask you both. When have you ever been good at something you didn't understand? Ever? Never. Why do we think we can wing weight loss? Why do you think we can wing body composition? Monica, you didn't just get on a horse and look at that, I can ride a horse. You had to learn and study it.
I'm going to steal that from you. I'm gonna steal that
When
from
have you ever been good? You don't just get behind a piano and like fake it. I mean, you study, you master
No, that's
something,
so
and when you master it once. You're not doing a diet every summer or every bikini and going back and do this. You've got to, at some point, you've got to, you know, bite the bullet and be like, okay, I'm ready. I need to understand this.
Yeah.
And
One time when I was in
committed to
5th
it.
grade and I raced all the boys and I beat them, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm fast. But then when I wanted to be really good at running, I had to learn how to train. I had to
And it's a whole thing.
Hone in my talent. Yeah.
So your gift will take you so far, and the weight loss is probably, you know, for some people, it's the biggest challenge of their life. I mean, seriously.
And that
it's
actually
like
makes sense. Like, if you think about it, a lot of people, their metabolisms are fast when they're younger and they have success with yo-yo dieting, and they're like, oh, I'll just like starve myself. Well, when you start to get older, you know, it doesn't work like that. And if you don't understand,
calorie and cardio don't cut it.
Yeah. Or as a gymnast, you're training multiple hours a day in the gym, and you don't realize that you can eat whatever you want because you're, you know, as a kid, you're training multiple hours. A lot of women, young women, they gain a lot of weight after they quit doing gymnastics because they didn't understand how to get, you know, proper nutrition while they're training, you know.
And Wendy, what does that do to the girls? And it's the same with the competitors. You take the physique away from them and they've just lost their identity. And that's awful for them because they don't know how to get their identity back. And that's what I see with competitors or whatever, wherever they've been, or even ladies after they have had children and maybe the body change and they feel lost. And it doesn't have to be that way because, you know, the way I coach weight loss, I'll show people, it's not that difficult. You guys are doing it, like they are doing it way too hard. It's not that difficult, but they do have to understand it. And once you understand it, it's really not difficult at all. You just start
to
read a certain way.
I'm gonna read your book.
You should.
I get super passionate about it because I see, especially, I mean, obviously I work with a lot of men as well, but the women are the ones where they lose their identity and their changing body composition and they don't know how to get it back.
Yeah, that's why I want to read your book.
Out for
how passionate you are.
Nonsense. Oh God! So my courses all start. So they're all going to start. January 17th they start.
So can you share like on that 21-day course, because that sounds kind of cool for somebody to know a little bit about 21 days. How often is someone on a Zoom with you in that time period?
Okay, so the 21-day program, there are 10 Zoom calls. So I pick a topic for 10 calls. They've got full access to me. They get custom meal plans. Whatever program somebody does with me, the best one to start with is the signature program. And I can tell you what I'm doing because my notes are writing on the board behind my computer. So every month's right there. My 21-day program was always slightly different. So I have my core topics. So I'll do mastering your macros, protein, carbs, fat, but I really go down the rabbit hole on that, right? And then I talk about, I do metabolism on this 21-day. I do lipolysis. I explain the actual process of the fat cell being broken down. And that one Zoom will change everything for everybody. It's the keynote. It changes everything. If you understand that one Zoom you're in. And then this time I'm talking about rebound, why people regain weight after dieting, how to avoid it. I talk about set points, the fat cell theory. I'm going to talk about the different types of fat. I'm going to talk about belly fat. I'm going to talk about muscle, pre-diabetes. There's a lot.
There is a lot. I mean, and just because someone hears you one time, like there's so much information, they have to keep coming back to keep gathering and understanding more.
And the groups I'm getting are, so I think what I'm trying to do here, right? So there's a lot of information out there that people can get. Some of it is very, very simple and it's not helpful. If you tell me what my plate should look like, that's not helping me at all, right? And then you've got these other people that are so smart and they're so bright, and it's kind of overwhelming. They're the people I have to take notes like, what, you know, but it's fantastic, but you can't kind of use it. So I feel like I come in the middle here, and the information that I have, it's a bit of a stretch for people, but they get it.
Yeah,
you know, I kind of can make this somewhat boring information kind of like edge of the seat type stuff. That's what I'm told.
Well,
I can make it.
What you're saying right now is exactly when I read, because obviously I haven't finished your book, but I did start it and I got about halfway through and then I just haven't picked it back up, you know, how that goes. But I love how you say here, Joanne's results come from her ability to transfer otherwise confusing, dull information into an edge of the seat type experience. And that's like so true. Like how you put things together is so true. So one of the times Joanne came out it was Palm Beach and I had a fem camp out there. Do you remember this? And you came out and did the nutrition session for the girls and you brought your presentation. And one of the things I remember was your pictures of the fat cat. And after you eat, it was like pictures of this big fat cat laying.
I think my graphics have got better since then. I hope.
It was so cute, but she had like, you know, just these innovative and fun ways of just getting her point across. And I think that's what, you know, and that was, what year was that? I don't even know what year that was. Was that 2011 or 2009?
Probably, yeah, because I probably started doing seminars on nutrition seminars about 2010. So I'm really big on blood sugar and checking blood sugar. So I love the fact that now I see people doing, I've been doing that since 2009. My clients get a blood glucose monitor.
I've got one at home. I love that too.
I love the fact that now.
That's a good idea. I don't do that.
Mine does ketones and
I do ketone strips.
No. This is off your blood. You do one strip. You have two separate. You can do two separate little strips in the monitoring thing that I have. So one you can measure your blood sugars, and one you can measure ketones off the same, you know, same prick.
I need to get that.
Yeah,
I'm all about blood sugar. You don't have to be in ketosis to lose weight, but you do have to control your blood sugar. And I explain why, because it's the way the fat cell is broken down is dependent on the insulin response of your food. But people think you have to be in ketosis. You do not. You do not. Ketosis is great. It's fantastic. It's not for everybody.
Right.
What I do with lipolysis is for everybody, and you can live it all the time.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't subscribe to like, you know, the keto, you know, group.
It's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but
nothing is
most
wrong.
People, it's not gonna. How long are you gonna do it for?
Well, I think it's misleading too. And people just start they're eating way too much fat, and it's really never tapping into their own body fat, or you know, and it's too many calories.
Yeah, for a lot of women, that's what I've seen. Yeah,
right. And then if they eat the wrong thing, they get discouraged because now they're out of, you know, supposedly out of ketosis. So it is.
And Mo, if you follow a keto, and I'm not knocking it, it's great. But if you miss ketosis, you're just in a low protein, high fat diet.
And you're actually consuming sugar more. Like that's a thing when, you know, when people are truly,
I'm a protein girl. I like protein.
Their appetite goes down, which is
true.
Work.
But you don't have to be in ketosis for that.
Yeah,
you don't have to be in ketosis for that.
But if you're trying to be in ketosis and you're nibbling on things and you're like just on that borderline, your appetite is actually way worse. And you're craving. Yeah, it's interesting. But I mean,
you have to take somebody from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. If you can take them from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, it usually takes 7 to 10 days. Then their appetite goes away. It goes remarkably down. It's subtle, but that's when I know that my clients are in the right spot, because they're like, wow, I didn't eat the whole bread basket and I didn't eat and it's subtle, but
that's smart. That's a really good idea.
Most people, well, the analogy, sugar burner to fat burner. If you're a sugar burner, you store carbohydrates in your muscles, right? But you only store like 1,000 or so calories. We've got very, very little fuel stored as carbohydrates. So when you're a sugar burner, it's a little bit like driving your car and there's no fuel in the tank, right? It's a little bit like you're driving your car on red because you just don't store much fuel. Well, girls, answer me, what do you do when you drive your car on empty, when that red light's on? What do?
You stop and get more.
What you're doing is you're looking for the gas station, right? You're looking at the light, you're looking at the gas station, you're looking at the light, you're looking for the gas station. That's what we're doing with food when we're a sugar burner. We're hungry, we're looking for food, we're hungry, we're looking for food. When you're a fat burner, and when we can store, they say the average woman has 2 months worth of fat in the body, right? So if we're a fat burner and now we've got this massive fuel tank, massive, right? So now we're driving along and we're on full. What are we doing? We're just driving, right? That's the analogy I like to use with regards to appetite. When you're a sugar burner, it's not you. You are hungry all the darn time. Once you switch to being a fat burner, do not have to be in ketosis.
Yeah.
The appetite goes away from you because you're pulling from a much bigger tank.
That's a good analogy. That's a really good analogy.
That's good.
I'm full of them.
She's full of them.
I'm stealing that one too.
Yeah.
So Joanne, how can people find you as far as for training, and maybe just touch on your personal training opportunities for people too?
The training, I'm in Eagle, Idaho now, so local people definitely. I've got an app. I've got everything's filmed on the app, so I can build all sorts of workouts on my app, and I deliver it to your phone. That's great. So my company is called the Shrink Shop. So
I love that.
I like that.
Yeah,
you know, so that's the Shrink Shop. So you can Instagram, Facebook, all that. So on Instagram, I'm always posting like that little sugar bird. I'm always posting little videos like that. And then for my website, I'll follow the links on Instagram, and you'll see the links to my all my courses. And they all start January the 17th. And I start Monica with Peak Week. So Peak Week, 5-day shred on January the 17th. And that is actually my old pre-contest diet. I've been using it 28 years, and it works like a charm. It is like the perfect reset for people. When people have just got, you know, everything, they've lost the diet, they've lost all the schedule. You just need that hard reset. Give me 5 days. On average, people lose 6 to 9 pounds. No joke. I've had 2 guys lose 16 pounds in 5 days on that.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
now,
a lot
obviously,
of
that's not all fat.
information.
Exactly, because they're backed up with food that they can't digest. They've got all this excess water weight, not critical water weight, excess water weight that doesn't need to be there. So in 5 days, we shed some fat, we get rid of all that stuff, and it's phenomenal. And it's so much fun to coach. And in that, even in 5 days, there's 4 different Zooms. So when I coach, I do a lot of like people are with me a lot. My groups are kind of they're still not too big to be intimate. So I reach out, I touch everybody, I speak to everybody every day on my coaching programs. You know.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
I love it. It's been it was a challenge. You know, you got to reinvent yourself when you move and the world changes. And
and then you're training people out of your gym. Do you actually, when you're in Idaho, do you actually train anywhere besides your gym, or do you just stay yourself in your gym?
No, I've got if you go to my website, the Shrink Shop, I've built a very nice gym.
Great.
It's a very nice
you stay in your gym is beautiful, like what I've seen of it. So you just stay there.
I just stay there. I'm not gonna drive around to people's thing, not when I've built that. But I do the online stuff as well, the online training, and build workouts. And some of my courses have workouts already built in them. But this way of coaching is really fun. I can just reach so many more people at once. And then my groups, it's so nice because the women and the guys, they all are chit-chatting, and you watch them support each other. And it's just like, it's fabulous, you know? It's just...
Yeah, that is... your passion for it is what I think is awesome. Yeah. You know?
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There's my gym. Yeah.
I love the yellow too.
Nice.
So I guess we're not getting about RV, right?
It reminds me a bit of Gold's Gym.
Come to the gold for the gold. Woo!
So I kind of had to reinvent my things a little bit. You know, I had to reinvent myself a little bit when we moved. You know, now I'm 50 and I'm changing it around again. But I would say now this is the most productive I've been. I think mainly because I can just reach so many more people than the one-on-one is great. But with the nutrition, I don't. It's just been really good for me. Really, such a blessing to reach out to clients that that I haven't seen for years as well. It's nice.
I just entered my 40s, so I'm experiencing a new decade myself here.
It's a roller coaster, man.
So I'm entering that decade myself now.
But Wendy, from definitely 46 to 51, that was a roller coaster, man. And I know what's happening, and I know what's going on, and I knew what to do to control my body composition.
Yeah.
The average woman gains 30 pounds with premenopause. 30.
Wow.
30. It doesn't have to. It does not need to happen. And
but we all three still look like we're in our 30s, so whatever. We can all three still pass for 30, so let's just go with it.
Women struggle though, you know, women struggle as they get older, and
Yeah.
it's we've just got to equip them. They're just looking to be equipped with the tools that they need, and it's just not that difficult. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But I see there's a lot of resources out there now.
My mind right now, but I know in a few years it'll be more than the number. I know that there's like physical things that start to happen, but for me right now is that number is like so. If as a woman, it just is so weird what it does to you, you know? I just don't even want to confront it. It's weird.
The age number?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's what that. I'm so vain. It's more the physical stuff.
No, it will be. I mean, I think like you said, you know, you. I mean, I'm only like a few years away from that, but like you reach your mid 40s, and that's when you start to like physically like things start confronting you. But that I mean, there's some things physically that I already can tell, but the number for me right now is just like, what, you know, like
it does feel like a more maybe mature number.
Yeah.
You know, after the 20s and the 30s, and you're like, wow, 40, like it does.
I'm a grown up.
Right? And I'm like, I'm an adult now.
And an adult, it does feel like that. And looking back, I think you're right. It does feel that way.
Yeah.
Like really odd, but yeah, you're going to be just fine, girl.
Oh my gosh, just fine.
Like you joke around when you're like reaching your late 30s, you're kind of joking, oh yeah, I'm getting older, ha ha ha, you know, and then all of a sudden like 40, like whoa, okay.
But you know, your mind, what happens is because you'd think it would be more challenging to work with ladies in the 40s and 50s and things like that, because you know, hormonally things are changing, and I can explain all of that. But it isn't, because, you know, when you get these ladies, they've got the mindset that we didn't have in our 20s and 30s. They're ready. They are ready.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation with Matt the other day. I said, you know what? Okay. It's so interesting. Women in their 20s and like early 30s, like have more issues with like, you know, like binge eating and like having weird emotional attachments to food. I said, something happens. And even I notice it with myself. I don't have that. I don't need like big giant portions anymore. Like it's easier for me to control my appetite. So I don't feel like women are more disciplined when they're older, but we work with a lot of older women. One of our pros is going to be 70 this year. She's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we like most of our like pros are like in their 50s and 60s, you know, and it's like they're so disciplined. And I'm like, what?
They just do it, right? They just do it.
Matt said, you know, I noticed that too. Like, just I'm more disciplined on you almost like you get past this like phase. Plus, the hormones I'm sure play a part in it. I have a lot of theories, but it's kind of it's an interesting observation mixed with experience that I'm noticing, where people tend to be more emotionally charged and binge a lot. Maybe also they respond better to extreme dieting in short periods of time. They can get away with it. When you get older, not only can you not get away with it, but you don't really want to binge eat.
Well, you've done it so many times, you realize, well, that isn't working anymore, you know. But they come in and they're just ready to do the work. So they're actually much easier to coach, even though you think it's a bit more challenging. It's not. They're so gracious in their, you know, and if they mess up, they're like, oh, I went off track, and they just get right back on track. There's no meltdown.
The mentality is a little bit more mature, right? Like you don't typically have as many setbacks because of, you know, boyfriends and, you know, girlfriends mistreating you, or, you know, some nonsense kind of young thing. Obviously those things still happen, but I think for the most part, women that are older have a little more sense about, okay, well, you know, that it's not gonna hang them up for as long.
Yeah.
So a little more, and especially if you have someone coming to you as an older woman, like they're serious about what they're doing. They're not just,
that's what I mean. They're serious,
right? Like they really want to do this. It's not like, my boyfriend thought I would look good on stage in a bikini, you know, like.
So it's like, who gets the better results? And honestly, I think when I say older, I'm talking about, you know, 38, or whatever. But I think they get it, because you can have the physical.
Older just means
gifts.
not younger.
Yeah. You can have the physical gifts, but
anything.
the mental gifts will override the physical gifts.
Absolutely.
And when we're younger, we haven't got that as much. We're distracted and we're like, oh, I'll just go run 8 miles and I'll be good. Or I won't sleep tonight. I'll pull an all-nighter and I'll be good. And the older you get, that mental acuity just kicks in, and it just overrides the maybe the physicality is not as in an ideal place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for every woman, even though women they're always tough on themselves, and they'll think they won't think I'm describing them, but I am describing them.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take another really quick break. And when we come back, we are going to tackle 3 big areas. And I want to hear Joanne's kind of rapid response on these, because there's so many topics, but I think we have 3 big topics I want to touch on with you: stress management, alcohol, and midlife mastery. So you guys don't go anywhere. We're coming right back with our 3 big topics. Hi everyone, Monica here. Just wanted to thank you so much for watching the Monica Brant Show, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share these videos, and and that little bell notification. Don't forget to click that so you'll get more great content every time there's a show uploaded or a video or anything else. So you guys, thank you so much for your support, and as always, stay fit and love life.